So hi guys, it's Thursday again at 6, so I'm here to do the wee Bible study. Now usually I do the Bible study at Ayr Baptist with Reverend Rosie Walker and my good friend and church elder Peter Nichol. So I'm not usually myself, and they're a lot wiser than me, so I'm just trying my best here to keep it going and to give us a wee taste of what we do. Because everybody's welcome. It's not like you don't need to be a Christian to go. It's actually a good thing, I think, because we're learning the Bible together, where we speak about it together. It's not as if Rosie teaches us. Well, she does teach us, but we work out the answers. We don't just go by what one person says. We go by what you feel is truth. So last week we were doing John 6, and we were speaking about Jesus feeding the 500. And this week we're just following on. So last week we did 1 to 15, and the day I'm going to do 16 to 21. I hope this haircut doesn't put yous off. This is a lockdown fashion. I can tell it's quite fashionable right now, so there you go. So I'll start reading. So as I say, it's verse 16 to verse 22, and this is for the New Living Translation. That evening, Jesus' disciples went down to the shore to wait for him. But as darkness fell and Jesus still hadn't come back, they got into the boat and headed across the lake toward Capernaum. Soon a gale swept down upon them, and the sea grew very rough. They had rowed 3 or 4 miles, when suddenly they saw Jesus walking on the water towards the boat. They were terrified, but he called out to them, "Don't be afraid, I am here." Then they were eager to let him in the boat, and immediately they arrived at their destination. So Father, I pray you bless the reading of your word, Lord. Amen. So, got a lot going on there. Walking on water. So, I want to start from the beginning. So at the first verse it says, well, 16, verse 16. That evening Jesus' disciples went down to the shore to wait for him. But as darkness fell and Jesus still hadn't come back, they got into the boat and headed across the lake towards Capernaum. Soon a gale swept down upon them and the sea grew very rough. So, I believe in all these stories, the lessons for us to learn. It's not just the disciples, because if I'm a disciple, all Christians are disciples, but I'm not out at like Sea of Galilee, for instance. But darkness falls on me sometimes. Storms. The wind, it says in verse 18, a gale swept down upon them and the sea grew very rough. So a storm, basically. I get storms in my life. I get storms in my mind all the time. And it can be hard to control. In the past I've not been able to control the storms, and it's got me into a lot of trouble. And I dare say, you watching this will have storms in your mind. Everybody's storm's different. They come in different forms. They can come in anxiousness and worry, depression, anger, all different sorts of storms. So to me that's the lesson here, is how to control these storms in your mind. Now we can begin through the new what's happening could be creating crazy storms in your life. So you could be fear of catching this virus. It could be fear. Fear could be a storm. It could be anger. You could be angry, you're not allowed to get the house. You could be angry spending 24 hours a day with whoever you're living with, because that's challenging. I stay with 5 women. It can be very challenging. And what do you do when these storms arise? People you love, it's not just people you dislike. Spending 24 hours a day with the same people, doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter how much you love them, it can be hard gone. Or it could be loneliness, where you don't see anybody, and then you're battling with yourself. Okay, and so the storms, all storms are different. And I believe this is the lessons that the Bible's trying to teach us here, is how do we control these storms that go on in our mind. It's not just your life that can be stormy, it can be your mind in here. So if we read on, it says, they had rode 3 or 4 miles. So they were trying to date themselves. You ever got yourself into a depression and try to pull yourself out of it? It's very hard. Very, very hard. Or got yourself worked up out of anger and try to pull yourself out of it. A lot of people say go count to 10 and stuff like that. And if that works, then fair enough, but I struggled with stuff like that, so I did. So it then says, when suddenly they saw Jesus walking on the water towards the boat, they were terrified. But he called out to them, don't be afraid, I am here. Now, we're not going to see Jesus walking on the water, because this was a miracle done for the disciples back then. But what we can believe, and I do believe, is Jesus is there, and he's saying, don't be afraid, I am here. So do you hope you realise that God is there, and you've not to be afraid. It then goes on to say, then they were eager to let him in the boat, and immediately they arrived at their destination. So, my question before that is, but it says, don't be afraid, I am here. And I'm only asking this question because I asked it myself, so I did. Are you afraid to let Jesus into your life? And I'm asking this because, see, when somebody says that to me, what I thought was I'm no what be a mad Christian. Wear socks and sandals and go about singing Kumbaya, or be on a you know, the box things telling everybody they're dirty sinners and they're all got to hell and all that. That wasn't appealing to me. Yeah, no offence to the old days Christians, but they put me right off. So when somebody says to me you should let Jesus into your life, I thought, aye, right, aye. I was afraid. I was terrified, actually. No way was I got to be singing Kumbaya and telling folk they're dirty sinners and they're going to hell. And then I met these Christians, real Christians, who told me that it's all about a personal relationship between you and Jesus. Nobody else. It's between you and Jesus. Personal relationship. So, just like everybody's relationship with their partner is different, so will yours. Yeah, and I'm sitting here now with a skinhead and a Scotland tap on. Tattoos. But I love Jesus just as much as the Kumbaya book guy. Or the guy telling everybody they're dirty sinners and they go to hell. We've just got different styles and we do it different ways. So, my question to you is, are you going to let him into your boat? Because as I say, the storm's going on in your mind or your life. Are you going to let him into your mind? You got to let him into your heart. You got to let him into your boat. Because see, when the disciples did let him in the boat, immediately they arrived at their destination. Now you might be asking, so how can I let him into my boat, Stephen? You're not making sense. It's very simple. Very, very simple. All you do is say, Lord, I'm not afraid. I know you're here. And I ask you to come into my heart. Lord Jesus, come into my heart. That's it. And then watch. I'll tell you a wee story, right? In November there, we had a daughter. I had a daughter in October, right? So by November she was very ill. She kept throwing up all the time. And we taken her to the hospital and they basically told us she had to go for an operation. And we got rushed from Kilmarnock to Edinburgh. So when we were going down in the ambulance, there were all sorts of storms going on in my mind. I was like, the fear, it was everything going on, it was crazy. Anyway, I was praying in the ambulance down and I'm saying, Lord, I know you're there, Lord. Please help me here. Protect Olivia. Ease my mind, Lord. So we went all the way down to Edinburgh. And as we get into the ward, checked into the ward, 5 beds down, my good pal Davy Frew, who works in recovery here, where I volunteer at recovery here, was there with his boy. His boy had just got the operation the day before. Now, you could say that's a coincidence, but what's the odds in me and him getting sent to Edinburgh Hospital? The Lord was there to didn't send David, but he put the 2 years together to reassure each other. Because that's a horrible thing to stay in a hospital watching your vein with drips in them, and we need it reassured. And that's what the both of us did for each other. And when I seen him, I knew that Jesus was working. I knew that everything was going to be alright. It calmed the storms in my mind. And that's what I'm asking for yous. I want your storms to be calmed. I don't want you to be raging, because it can be hard. So I believe that's wee lessons this week. Don't let the storms in your mind overwhelm you. Don't try and do it yourself. Just ask God for help. It's very simple. Just tell him about it. He already knows your problems anyway, but he likes to hear your voice. So he likes to hear these. So I would hope that you would pray and ask Jesus into your life. Come into my boat, Lord. So I hope you've got a blessing out of this wee lesson. And I'll just finish with praying. So Father, I pray, Lord, that this touches someone, Lord, and they let you into their boat, Lord. Father, we know you're there, so please come into our boat. In your name, Jesus. Amen. Cheers.